What is up, everybody? This is your one and only Wild Rocker. Today I'm bringing you another Destiny video, and in this Destiny video we're going to be talking about certain exotics, of how you can obtain them and what to do to obtain them. And before we get into that, I know it's been like a week since my last video, and I sincerely apologize for that. I've actually had friends and family come over and visit out of state. I had to, kind of rekindle our family reunion, so to say, because it's been a very long time. So that was actually kind of fun, seeing my nieces and nephew for a very long time. So anyways, now let's get back on topic. Okay, first things first. With my current outfit that I'm wearing right now, a lot of people, because I currently have 3 warlocks. I have tried the hunter, I have tried the titans, and people are like, Wild, why don't you try, being one or the other? And I just felt like, warlock was for me. I just felt like that. I liked the warlock. I liked the way that they were handled well. As for, floating and the void walker and so on and so on. But as for this helmet that I have currently, a lot of people are wondering and asking me, how did I obtain this one? Well, it's actually a legendary, and I actually got this during one of the strikes, and this was the big Shank mission. I think it was called the Saber, and you actually get this helmet if you're a warlock. Now, it's not going to be a guaranteed drop. It's going to actually be a lucky drop. 2 days right after Taken King dropped, and this is probably almost, I think, about 3 weeks ago now, I obtained this helmet, and so far, besides one other person that I've ever seen has obtained this helmet, I don't know. I also know, and if people do not or have not realized, that there is certain weapon strike drops that happen when you're doing strikes, such as the Sunless Cell. He can actually drop a legendary pulse rifle that is kind of exclusive for that strike only. Another thing for hunters, if they face Taniks, they can actually get Taniks' cape, which is really neat. And the same with Titans, when they face the Shield Brother, they get like a unique pair of gauntlets. So it's really fascinating about how many things that you can get, whether it be gear or even guns from certain strikes, which is very neat. The main thing that we're going to be talking about is the unbelievable luck that I actually had last week. I could not believe it. There was a certain helmet in particular that I was looking for, besides the one I got now. And even though it really doesn't matter, because we're in year 2 now, it was just one of the last helmets that I need for the year 1 exclusive exotic gear for the warlock. And I waited probably about 7 to 9 months, and I freaking finally got that damn ram. Oh my god. If you guys ever seen any of my videos in the past, you have been seeing that I bitched and whined. I went through probably 2,000 motes of light during year 1 trying to get this damn thing, and then come to find out that it really doesn't matter in year 2 because it's defense 170. But hey, cosmetic wise, it's still badass in my book. I know it's got competition compared to the Stag, but oh well. Anyways, so we're gonna move on to our left, and we have all 3 exotic swords, which was very nice to have. And I'll get those in a very quick minute. This bad boy, oh my god. Oh my god. Now, when I first actually did this, I thought that, it was going to be kind of shitty. I mean, pardon my French, but, I thought it was going to be terrible, okay? And the reason why is for its main ability, and it actually will start decreasing your life. It will actually take a portion of your life every time you get down to that last shot. Okay, but think about this, okay? You have a gun that, and if you're new to Destiny, especially in year 2 Taken King, you're actually doing certain quests that you don't realize that you're doing that are leading up to this gun. And people don't really start to pay attention until they're about to start their raid and to get all 3 pieces, whether it be from the Sisters, Golgoroth, War Priest, or even Oryx, okay? That's when they really got to buckle down and, and try to actually figure out, hey, what else do I have to do this? And there's missions even after that you have to do too, for Eris. Funny thing about this gun is I was actually reading up on it before I obtained it last week, and they said that there was 2 missions that you had to do after you obtained all 3 pieces, or 4 pieces, or whatever it may have been. I know it was 2 different quests for this gun. And that was for the Undying Mind. It was a special unique mission that had a certain enemy to kill. And then also there was one in another mission that was unique in the Dreadnought, and you had to go back and kill that like mini looking orc thing, not the one in the story, but like the flying one. It was like a duplicate kit, I don't know what you call it, but anyways, he was in the middle of the room, and then a whole bunch of taken ads would spawn in, and then you had to kill a certain wizard. Well, for me, I only had to kill that wizard, and I magically obtained it somehow, so I was able to actually skip a whole mission of Undying Mind Strike to obtain this. And I know other people have done this as well, but how did we do it? Well, we don't know. We don't know if it was a bug in the system or a bug in the game or a glitch. We don't know. But the reason that I wasn't too fond of this weapon in the beginning is, as I said, it takes a portion of your health. Now, you have 11 shots. That's not really that great. You know, I know auto rifles that can do much, much better job than this. But, okay, bear with me. On that last shot, it does double the damage, and it also has unlimited ammo on that last shot, which means you don't ever have to really reload it. So for its perks here, you know, you have Hammered Forge, Flared Magwell, and Snapshot. Depending on how you play, it's up to you. I chose Hammer Forge because, as you see, it increases the range ability. There is one, I think, that was for faster reload, but I'm not seeing it for some reason. But anyways, so, okay, would you be willing to sacrifice a portion of your health to do double damage? That's the thing you gotta ask yourself, you know. And it makes you wonder, you know, well, what is this gun capable of? Well, I tried this gun on the War Priest because I ran the raid on my second Warlock 3 times last week. And honestly, for the Knights, and spoiler alert for anyone that has not done the raid, it really wasn't bad. It was actually really, really strong during Golgoroth. It was actually good for ads as well, especially the Yellow Bard Acolytes. But where it really shined, and this is just for the raid, where it really shined, it was when we faced the Sisters. We had 2 guys, including myself, that just recently got the Touch of Malice last week. And this thing does absolute work. And the reason is because you want to get to that last shot when you're facing the Sisters, right? And then whoever's the runner, you actually want to stay in that shield just like everybody else, but you want to make sure you have that last shot on. That last shot on, because when you're in that bubble, it's the bubble of immortality, which means you can't die, which works in your favor if you have a Touch of Malice, which means you can pull off precision shots that are double damage without ever having to reload for that entire, you know, segment, which is absolutely amazing. We got not only the first witch but the second witch down in a matter of 3 tries. We probably could have got it done in 2, but we didn't want to risk it, so we went with 3. And I know some people have tried it with 5 or even 7 attempts before, but after the first time running the raid without the Touch of Malice, it really, even that part, in my opinion, was probably the easiest. If I had to rank each part of the raid, I would actually rank the Sisters the absolute easiest. The War Priest, a very close second. Oryx would be at 3rd, only because of his light level. And Golgoroth for me on dead end, because I absolutely hate fucking Golgoroth. Oh my god, that motherfucker's a bitch. But anyways, okay, so let's get back on the swords here. I would definitely recommend this gun, but you want to use it wisely. Because, I mean, you can accidentally kill yourself multiple times and not even realize it. Now, for these bad boys down here, okay, I actually got these 2 weeks ago. And these things are pretty badass. To see them in action is really is really neat and awesome too. But you can keep your legendary versions of them. As you see, I got the legendaries of all 3 and the exotics as well. Here's something, and I've been telling a lot of people, especially on PlayStation, because I'm usually on PlayStation. If you ever want to look me up, my name is WildRocker334, as you see. But a lot of people have been asking me, you know, how the hell did you get all 3 of your swords so quickly? And, you know, let me put this down for a second. Okay. I was looking online and I was trying to find quicker ways, right? I was trying to find easier ways, because if we all try to do it the standard way, and that is, kill a certain amount of enemies with that type of ability, type of burn, whether it be void, solar, arc, whatever. And then I usually had 2 to 3 people that were with me, and we all had that material ghost shell that would find those materials for us. Doing that the normal way, it took 2 whole days to do that, and it was absolutely unbearable. I'm like, oh my god, this is unbelievable that they're having me do so much work for this sword. But then again, it's a sword. We never had swords in here, and they're exotic, so it's got to be worth it, right? Well, I've been searching online during that time, and I found out that, people were farming, such as the one for the materials for spin metal on Earth, where they would go into that certain area right before they go to the Sky Tower, and then come back out with their sparrows, come back in, and pick up one material at a time. Yeah, that is a way of farming, but it's not 100% guarantee either. In fact, you're probably going to take longer doing that way than actually just sitting in an area for a couple minutes and having about 4 or 5 pop up randomly. That way, in my honest opinion, would be even longer to do. But like I said, after checking multiple videos, I have not seen a video of this, and I'm about to tell you guys right now. The thing that I found out, which was very curious of me to do, and I'm glad I went with it, was, let's say my first sword I was working on, was Void, alright? And then my second one was Arc, and then Solar. So I'm thinking, after spending 2 whole days on my Void sword, there's got to be an easier way, besides farming, right? There's got to be a better way. Well, I got curious, and I was actually on, not Mars, because that was the Iron Relic. I wasn't on Venus, I was on the moon, and I was hunting the helium filaments, and then I went to Earth and I was hunting for the spin metal. Well, I noticed after I got my first drop, after going to the Earth, that it only took a mere minutes, maybe 5, 10, 20 at most, to get that one piece that you're looking for. I guess it's like a legendary piece or exotic piece, the piece that you need for the quest. And I found out, hey, instead of me having to wait all over again and picking about maybe 20, 30, or even 50 more of these things, why don't I just go back to orbit? I went back to orbit, and instead of going back to the moon or Earth, I switched it up. So I went to Earth first, got my material in like a matter of mere minutes, went to the moon and did the same thing. For some reason, and I don't know why, and they might patch this really soon, but the game, I guess, resets everything. So as for that quest, because I went on the moon and not even 20 minutes later, I got another piece for that material, that material that you need to find for these exotic swords. So then I got even more curious, and I was like, well, what happens if I just keep going back to orbit and then keep going back to that same area, such as the moon? If I was to go to orbit after I found that piece I was looking for, even though there's 10 of them, after finding one, going back to orbit and then going back to the moon to kind of like reset everything. Amazingly, this actually works. I don't know why, and I don't know how. If you do not believe me, I guarantee you it will work if you guys try it. Not only did I get 1 sword done, I actually got 2 swords done in under, I'd say, an hour and a half, which is a hell of a lot better than doing it for 2 whole days just for 1. These are absolutely amazing. The special moves for each one of them are very, very unique and just flat out awesome. And if I had to rate them as for their abilities, even though they all practically do the same damage, I would actually rate the Arc first, and then the Void, and then the Solar. Now, the reason I rank Arc first is because Arc, you have, a better distance in PvP, while in Void you have a better chance of surviving in PvE, with thralls or acolytes, or fallen, or even taken. As for Solar, I really don't use it that much, and there's really no reason, you know, more than likely it kind of gets me more in jeopardy of losing my health and dying. So I mean, it's up to you on how you want to play it. But as for that touch of mouse, I would definitely continue that quest into doing it. And you know, I hope this video gives you as much information as possible to try to get those swords quickly, because I know a lot of people don't have those already. So yeah, this has been WildRocker, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.